boy, oh boy, man. What type of game was this, man? We are hitting the losing music because the Knicks were at home hosting the Minnesota Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards, without Karl Anthony Towns. And can you say trap game? Because the Minnesota Timberwolves came out guns blazing like the world champion Warriors. 71% from the field at halftime. Taurean Prince, the star of the show, goes 8 for 8 from 3 on the game. And these guys just could not miss. So the Knicks would trail by 9 at the half. And in the third quarter, it was Julius Randle. Julius Randle with a godlike performance. 27 points in the third, breaking Carmelo Anthony's record for most points in a quarter. Julius would finish with 57 on the night. But in the fourth quarter, man, the Knicks just could not execute down the stretch. And the Wolves, give them credit, finished the game. The Knicks could not finish. Wolves win 140. I repeat, 140 to 134. You give up a 140 points to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are without their 2 stars. This is a team who averages 115. That's a fail. The defense was terrible tonight. It was atrocious. From the point of attack to protecting the rim inside the paint, they gave them 68 points in the paint tonight. Not good. Absolutely not good. The Wolves would end up shooting 58% from downtown. And, the thing is that when you're playing a team like this, without their 2 stars, you're going to have nights like this, right? Or at least halves like this. This is the NBA. Teams are going to come in. They're feeling like their backs against the Wolves. The Wolves have something to play for. They're still very much in playoff contention. So they want to play hard. They want to win. They got vets. They have a veteran point guard in Mike Conley. Kyle Anderson has been around the block. He knows how to play. Obviously, they got the stifle towel, Rudy Gobert. Naz Reid, they're tough. Their defense is still tough. Their defense is still formidable. And they play smart. So you figure with a team without their 2 stars, without them going heavy isolation, they're going to be moving the ball around. They play basketball, right? Move the ball around, take your shots. As their shots started falling, they got more confidence, and they were rolling. You figured it would be a tale of 2 halves. If the Knicks came out and played their game, the Knicks did make a late charge in the second. If they came out and played their game, they should be able to win this game. They're only down by 9 at halftime. That's 1 run away. Couple shots, couple threes. You feeling good about yourself. And they did. It was Julius Randle in the third quarter. Julius Randle went absolutely ballistic. Absolutely ballistic. Just lights out. The arsenal was insane. And it just sucks that they lost this game because he was brilliant in that third quarter. Just one of those out-of-body experiences. He was great. In the fourth, the Knicks did jump out. They did end up taking the lead. Josh Hart started the fourth off well. He accounted for the first 7 points of the quarter. They were looking good. It was just crunch time, man. Crunch time. They could not close. This Wolves team, give them credit. They kept on coming. But it was just a lack of execution in crunch time. And the same bad defense that they showed early in the game reared its head late in the game.
I mean, the big thing is that there was no paint protection whatsoever. You give up 68 points to the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, we had John Krasinski on the show, and we knew that this would be a hot scoring team in the first quarter. That's what you brought up. That's what we discussed. Even Tibbs, if you watched a little bit of the post-game press conference, he mentioned that the team discussed that this is a hot scoring team. So it only makes sense that you come into this game prepped and ready to defend your butt off in the first quarter. They did not do that. So you don't get any good defense. It was an admirable effort to only be down by 9 points by the way that it was going, because This team was shooting 70%, not only from the field, but from three at some points, CP, in the first half.
Yeah.
It was just a crazy performance.
They started the game off 10 for 10.
You talk about an out-of-body experience for Julius Randle. It was an out-of-body experience for the Timberwolves, man. This team could not miss. And look, when you face a team like this, it's difficult to go out there and win, because if you're just making all your shots, no matter what, and there were some shots that were just crazy. Like you have a Connolly floater where it's like that went in. It just seemed like anything they put up, the ball was going to find the bottom of the net. So it's just a difficult game to begin with. But kudos to Randle for bringing this one out. Like 57 points.
Yeah,
kudos to him. 31 in the second half. The Knicks could have had it, but just a frustrating loss, man, because it was right there for the taking. It was legitimately right there for a taking. And it sucks when you have an excellent performance by Julius Randle, 57 points, and you can't get the win. It's like earlier this season, what was it? RJ had 40 against Chicago, and you don't get the win for that one. It's just crazy when you have excellent performances and you can't secure the victory.
Hey, what's up, guys? First of all, this game, half-hearted. Half of me wants to say is a learning experience, because again, kind of like how JD said after the game, we're looking at the playoffs here. We're just trying to set up to see how we handle our playoff position. But on the other hand, you can't let Randle waste a 57-point game like that. That's crazy. In terms of how the team played, it just didn't look right. They gave it like they were trying to give Randle the ball and just say, hey, take us home. And granted, 57 points is crazy, but we all knew he had the skill. We never questioned Randle's skill. It's his mental. Can he stay there for 48 minutes mentally, even if he's not shooting well, if he's not playing well?
Yeah.
Can he not hurt the team by being a distraction, elbowing people in the face, arguing with the refs? Sometimes he argues with the refs more than he argues with other players or look at his team.
Yeah.
So as long as he can get that mental aspect in focus, I have zero worries about Randle, how he's able to handle it. And again, it sucks that we lost, but again, I'm comfortable in the in the fifth spot. If anything, I'm kind of glad that we're in the fifth spot. We're not fighting for fourth, because maybe that's less of a distraction for the next 10 games. We can kind of figure out what the bench is doing more often than just trying to win for fourth. We're comfortable where we're at. So on to the playoffs. You feel me?
On to the playoffs. On to the playoffs, Iraq City, man. Salute, man.
Yes, out here negotiating two
something
goats
I will
land.
I will not negotiate on. Something I will not negotiate on is the Randle slander happening in the chat right now. I told you I had a truckload of tomatoes to all you fools, hating on Julius Randle, hating on IQ, hating on like my boys, the Knicks. I mean, maybe some of these like nephews do not remember the Knicks in like the early 2000s. We had 13 wins, 17 win. 22 win seasons. We are a good team. We are a good, solid team. Julius Randle is a Knick in the truest sense. These fair weather fans need to go to Brooklyn, buy yourself a $26 jar of artisanal mayonnaise, some horn rimmed glasses, and a Nets jersey. We do not need you in this fan group.
But Wawa throwing a little perspective on there. A little perspective, man.
And have a good night.
I'm not taking none of this.
Yeah, he's not with it. He's not with it. Remember that this show's available in audio podcast format, man. All the major podcast platforms, so no reason to miss it. Shout out to the Replay Gang. See you guys Wednesday. Play-by-play live. Post-game live. We are there. We are everywhere. Number one show for the fans by the fans. CP Alex, JD, we out of here. Peace.